What is our relationship coming to that we talk about our bowel movements?
It's called We're Getting Old. Are you sure you're ready for this one?
I've been ready. Just waiting on you.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Matt. This is the lovely V, fresh off of her deathbed with strep throat.
Yeah, I feel better, guys. Boom. Coming at ya. Laugh is back.
It's a little bit subdued, though. I could see you're like holding back a little bit because the full throat probably still hurts.
My throat is
bit.
a little bit still a little raw, but it's better.
So today is a video that I have been looking forward to, and it's one that will probably trigger many social justice warriors out there, but it's going to be fun. And I'm taking one for the team for all you men, because I know most of the time when you talk about this with a woman off camera, she ends up punching you in the face. So it's better to talk about these things on camera where they have to at least still maintain their composure.
Yeah, I guess.
So today we are going to be talking about double standards between men and women. Yes, they do go both ways. There are definitely some double standards that go against women, but there are also definitely some double standards that go against men. So we both made a list of double standards that we think goes against our sex, me being male, her being...
Well, I'm female now that I had that sex change operation.
her being female but wanting to be male. So we're going to jump into it. Do you want to go first,
I'll
my
go
dear?
first. So the first one that I thought of is when a man and a woman get married, why is it always the woman that has to change her last name? Why? I think it's a silly tradition. I think it's a double standard. And FYI, if we ever get married, I'm not changing my name.
So are you saying that you think the man should take the woman's name, or that you each should just take your own name?
I think you should each just take your own name.
Well, that goes very well into my number one. Thank you for the setup. And that is that women want equality, right? They want equal rights, totally understandable. They want independence. They want, feminism.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they still expect the man to be traditional. I can't tell you how many relationships I've been in that have been like that. Like, oh, are you going to do the dishes, honey? What, just because I'm a woman, I should do the dishes? Oh, by the way, will you pay the bills, honey? You know what I'm saying? So it's like they expect you to pay the bills or to go to work and do the man job. How many times have you said, honey, will you fix this? And I'll say, why? And you've been, because you're the man?
Yeah. Will you take out the trash? Why? Because you're the man.
That's my point, is that women still expect the male species. Are we a species? Sex? Whatever. They expect... stop looking at me like that. She's going to punch me. They still expect men to do man things, but if us as men expect them to do women things, and I'm not just saying this about her, this is almost every relationship I've been in, then you're just a sexist pig that thinks that you're, you own her or something.
I just don't know why you can't help me with the dishes.
So to wrap it up, the way I could put this the best is that women want their cake and eat it too.
Yes.
At least she admits it. She is actually way better than most women when it comes to that. And she at least acknowledges some of these things. I've been with other women and it's like they don't see it. It's unfair for us men. We are oppressed.
Boo-hoo.
Somebody's getting triggered out there right now.
Okay, so for my next one, when you have a single father, people look at him like he's a hard worker, he's taking care of his children. However, if it's a single mother, she's flawed in some way. And oh, why is she single? Oh, poor her. I don't like it. Double standard. Boom.
Yeah, I don't deny that. I mean, I think that's obviously in this video, we're totally generalizing. There's definitely I've looked at some single fathers before and been like, oh, I understand why this guy's single, right? But I get what you're saying. Like, as a whole, you do look at it more like, oh, wow, he's really stepping up to the plate. He's taking care of his kid.
Okay, so there's a single father and the mom's out of the picture. She wants nothing to do with her child, blah, blah, blah. People look at that man like, oh, poor him. He's such a hard worker. However, when there's a single mom and the dad stepped out of the picture and he's in prison or doesn't want to pay child support or whatever, they're like, oh, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll accept that. Because I'm fair. Because men are fair.
Oh my God. There's going to be a fight by the end of this video.
She just set up my next one with that last line. Thank you so much. And that is, Double standards in fights. Why is it okay for a woman to hit a man? Why is it okay for a woman to call us every name on the book? Do you know what would happen if in a fight I called her a C word? I would have a black eye. All right.
And you'd be single.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. But she can call me every name, a piece of crap. You're this, you're that, blah, da, 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 da. And it's okay. And again, this is with other friends' relationships I've seen, other relationships I've had. The fights when it comes to men and women are not fair. And I'm not saying I'm not saying a man should be able to hit a woman either, but like a woman hits a man and it's because he's considered the stronger sex or whatever. But what about equality?
It's because when a woman gets in a fight, she's very emotional. So when she says those mean things and she calls you, you're a effing a-hole or whatever, it's because she's being emotional and she doesn't necessarily mean it. Whereas if a guy does it, it's viewed as disrespectful because you usually do mean it.
That's not true, though.
Men are very like
tempers too.
Yeah, but they're not as emotional as women are.
Again, it's a double standard. You're just perceiving it that way. I've definitely called people names where I've just been upset and I didn't mean it, you know?
I'm just saying in a relationship.
I think what it all stems from is the fact that still going back hundreds, thousands of years, men are still considered, even by women, as maybe the stronger of the sex, so they should be able to take the punishment of, you know, getting smacked in a fight or taking some mean words or whatever. Like they can deal with it better, but women should be dealt with more fragilely. But again, that kind of goes against
we're emotional.
But again, that goes against what a lot of feminists and social justice warriors preach. But then I bet you anything, some social justice warrior would be way more upset at me if I hit you than you if you hit me. And
I don't agree with violence.
Well, I know that, and I'm not pointing fingers at you here. I'm just saying, like,
but then again, the man's usually stronger than the woman, so he shouldn't hit her.
But she shouldn't hit him either. No, come on now, come on now. You know that you hit hard.
I've never hit you.
Yes, you have. Okay, you've never punched me in the face, but you've punched me in the shoulder or something. You hit hard.
Joking.
Again, like with this list, though, you have to understand. I'm not just pointing this all at you and your flaws. I'm saying, as a whole, its society is slanted.
So the next one that I have is, why are men so much more desirable the older they get if they're single? And a single old woman is known as an old maid. You know what I mean? Like, why are men like a fine wine and they get better with age, but then women are just flawed and they're an old maid and there's something wrong with her because she's still single at a certain age?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I think where that stems from, and I agree, it's a total double standard. Where that stems from is that men are looked at still as being, you know, in a lot of cases as being the breadwinner and stuff. And so usually like the older they get, the more financially stable they are. And then you talk to some women and they say they're just attracted to the, you know, older men, maybe daddy complex or something.
And then another one of mine that I'm just going to add into that, just because it kind of ties into that, is if a woman doesn't want to have children. So let's say there's a successful career woman, she doesn't want to have children. Society looks down upon her, like, how could you not want to be a mom? Whereas a man, if he doesn't want to have children, he's just looked at as he's a leader. He puts his business first. He's successful. Like, they don't really look down upon a man.
I think that's changed a lot, though, and it depends on where you live. If you go to the city or something, I don't think anybody's looking down on a single woman that doesn't want to have kids. You've never lived in the city. Like, it's they're looked at as like independent career woman or whatever.
Yeah, I think it has evolved over time.
Here,
for sure.
In a place like where we live, Montana and stuff, you're absolutely right. There's a saying that I think it was my grandpa said this. I don't know for sure if it was him. Some older man told me this a long time ago, and it was that men are like real estate and women are like cars. Cars you have to trade in every like 10 years, and they depreciate in value, and real estate appreciates in value the older and longer you have it.
Nice, Grandpa.
She's getting pissed. Nice, Grandpa. Okay, so my next one is sexual harassment and objectifying. Now, obviously, it is not okay for me to sexually harass a woman or for me to, you know, whistle at a woman when I'm driving down the street like, ooh, look at that ass, you know. But when a woman does it, it's considered funny or it's considered cute. When a woman goes and, you know, let me give you an example here. Let's say I went to some Vegas show and I was watching like whatever they, you know, dancers or something. And there was video of me going like, yeah, baby, take it off, bend over. She would be like, wow, you're a pig. But if she went and did that at like a Chippendales show or whatever, she would think it's funny. Or it's just, I just do it because it's funny.
Because men think with their penises and women are not, they're just like having fun.
See, but I will tell you this. I have definitely been sexually harassed by a woman before. Okay. More than one. See, exactly. I set her up again. This whole video is just me trying to set her up. I have had women force themselves on me before when they've been drunk, and I've actually pushed women off before because
but a woman can't rape a man. What's she gonna be like? Oh, get hard and
I think that there's some people would disagree. Pretend the man's has a button and he doesn't want that to be pressed. But if a woman comes and presses it, he's all of a sudden can't help anymore. I'm just saying, it is possible. It is possible for men to be sexually harassed by women. But like if you go to HR in your office or something and you go, hey, human resources lady, I got sexually harassed by Pam in the next cubicle. She grabbed my junk. The human resources lady would just laugh. If Pam goes there and says that I grabbed her junk, my job's lost.
Yeah. My next one is sexual partners. When a man has a ton of sexual partners, he's considered experienced and wanted. Whereas if a woman has a lot of sexual partners, she's just a slut and,
easy, loose.
Easy.
Yeah, that's definitely
banging lots
one.
of dudes.
That's a big one for sure. Men are just like, it's like play on playa. A woman does it, she's like,
but then again, that just goes back to
goods.
Men think with their penis. They just don't know any better, so they bang lots of women. Whereas women are more emotional. So if they're banging lots of guys, it's probably because they're insecure or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they just like sex.
I think you're right, though. I think that sometimes it's, and you're absolutely right, it is a double standard, and I'm not saying it's fair at all. And I'm not saying that every woman is this way. There are women that are just like nymphos. But there's also women out there that I think that have done it a lot because they need attention or have low self-esteem or something, and it might be a deeper reason. And men do it more just because it's like, it's just a thing to poke. You know what I'm saying? Like they just do it because they can and it's fun, and there's no feelings involved there. So I think that that's sometimes like you'll look at a woman and she'll say, yeah, my number's 50 or whatever, and you'll think, well, maybe there's something wrong with her up here because she did this because she, and I've known women that were both ways, that did that because obviously they have low self-esteem. They probably didn't even enjoy it half the time, but they just wanted to feel pretty or loved by somebody. And then I've known others that are, just crazed maniacs that need it every day. Okay, my next double standard has to do with men and women in dating. So here, let me give you an example. If I say out loud, oh, I wasn't attracted to her because her butt was too big or her nose was too big or her whatever, she was flat-chested or anything like that, I'm looked at as being shallow or as being, what's the word I'm looking for? Chauvinistic, maybe, just shallow, like all I care about is looks. But how many times have you heard a woman say like, oh, I'm not attracted to bald men. Oh, I'm not attracted to short men. I don't see a big difference there. But you don't think of the woman when she's saying that as being shallow, or I never have. Like she's even said, oh yeah, I'm not attracted to short guys. I don't think like, oh, she's shallow or something like that. But if a man says it, he is considered that way because he's just looking at her features and not looking at her inner beauty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one.
Boom.
Boom. So my next one is a woman who speaks her mind in the workplace or just in life in general is considered bossy or, she's just a know-it-all. Whereas a man that speaks his mind in the workplace or life outside of work or whatever, he's looked upon as a leader. He's looked upon as powerful and attractive because he speaks his mind. But I'm not talking about Donald Trump. This is beyond Donald
No,
Trump.
but there's definitely men though that people do look at as being just a jerk. Like I think being a leader isn't just being bossy or telling people what to do. It's getting people on board with your agenda. It's having people believe in what you're leading them to. Do you know what I'm saying?
They're deemed powerful if they speak their mind, but if a woman does it, she's a bitch.
No, but that's not true. I don't agree with that one because I've known women that were great leaders, and then I've known women that were just cranky, bitchy, and I've known men that were great leaders and men that were just cranky, bitchy. Like in order to be a good leader, you have to have somebody believe in what they're doing and believe in you and want to follow you. Okay, not just being like an authoritarian. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I disagree. In society, a woman that speaks her mind, most men look at her as a bitch.
I get what you're saying. I think that the part of, and that might be so like with some men that just don't respect women and they just don't want a woman to speak up. I agree with you there. But I've also known women that were great at leading people and stuff. And it's because a good leader doesn't just tell people what to do. They get people to buy into to what's going on. Okay. So I have another one, and that is stay-at-home dads. And this is even with me too. Like you look at a stay-at-home dad and you think, dang, that guy is lazy, right? Or why doesn't that guy want to have a career? Something's weird. Or what a cuck. He lets his woman, he lets his lady go in and bring home the bread, and she must run the whole house and tell him whatever. And obviously, that's a double standard. That it's one of those things where it goes both ways, because then people look at that woman and not being the stay-at-home mom, and they think that something's wrong with her too. So we're still kind of in this crossroads in society where you still have some people fighting for the traditional and you have some people fighting for just, the, progressive, but like do whatever fits for your family, whether it be the man or the woman fills whatever role, who cares? And so I understand both sides of the argument. I myself have looked at men that are stay-at-home dads and thought like, well, you don't have a job, but like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? He's still taking care of kids. I'd rather go to work.
And I feel sometimes, like when I go to Kylie's school and stuff, I feel like I'm almost looked down upon by the stay-at-home moms because I do have a job, and I feel like they look at me like I'm not as good of a mom or whatever because sometimes I can't go to certain functions. I can't do certain things because I have to work.
Yeah.
So I feel sometimes that they look down upon me. So I was just going to bring up one other one is the pay scale of men versus women. You don't find it too often in today's society, especially like in the medical field. Like if you're a doctor or a nurse and you have this years of experience, you're going to get paid this amount. But in other things like construction
business
or
jobs,
business and job, it's very difficult for a woman to make as much as a man.
I think that one is honestly the worst for women. And that's one that I completely agree with. If she is able to do the exact same job, I think that she should be paid the exact same. Yeah, with construction, I guess it's tough. Like if you are hired to haul concrete bags all day and the woman can only carry one at a time and the man can carry two, then there's an argument to be made there. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like just in corporate America, you like women, I think make like 20-30% less, and they're doing the same exact job, sometimes better than the man, sometimes worse, depending on whoever it is. They should be paid the same. One last thing that I wrote down here, but it kind of goes in with my number one. Feminism has changed things for women in good ways. Don't get me wrong. Things haven't changed for men. If men were expected, if I, manists or meninism or something, then they're just sexist pigs, right? Because us men have always ruled the world, so now we should be oppressed and take it for past generations.
No, women just deserve equal rights.
Yeah, but men are still expected to do man things. For example, you got like men are expected, and I do this, to open doors. Men are expected to do the gentlemanly, manly things.
Because it's polite and respectful.
Yes, but women aren't expected to do anything like that anymore. Like that go on the women aren't expected to be passive and expected to be submissive as like they used to be. So like things have changed a lot for women over the last 50 years. And I'm saying like a lot of it for the good. Women were definitely, there was definitely sexism and bad stuff going on. And, if you look at a relationship in the 50s, it was like women didn't really get a voice in a lot of things. And I think that they deserve that. But at the same time, men's roles haven't changed a whole lot, and what's expected from a man hasn't changed. So society tells me not to expect you to do woman type things, to be submissive, to be there, to just be a supporter of me, the man, the head of the house. That would make me sexist to expect that. But you still expect me to do the man things.
I think you're kind of generalizing a little bit.
Well, I'm just using you as an example. I'm not saying you're necessarily bad at this. This is something I've always felt though. Like there are, and people are going to look at this and be like, oh, a white man, middle-aged man complaining about their spot in life. You have a good, and I get that, but like men definitely are still expected to do those traditional
Why
things.
are you bitching about that?
Why are women bitching about having to do women traditional things then?
Not all are. You're generalizing.
A lot are.
Okay. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. And if you can think of any double standards, go ahead and leave that in a comment below as well.
Yeah, we're gonna go probably fight. She's gonna beat me up, then tell me to do the dishes, and I can't see anything back because I'm a man.
Stop being a baby.
See, you just can't handle it. Women sit here.
I can't handle you being a baby.
Google. You're proving my point right now. Google on YouTube all the feminist videos out there. I've watched them before, and it's just them complaining about their spot in life.
The only one complaining right now is you.
That's the point. If a man complains, he's just being a little bitch. That's my point.
Okay.
Rise up, men. Rise up.
Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel. We put out videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I promise they aren't all as controversial as this one.
I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, you guys, and we'll see you next time. Hey. Go!
Oh, man. That's strep throat. Definitely adds
It's not like a little boy going through puberty.
It adds a certain pitch.